Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are we doing on this cold Wednesday night? I'm really chilly.
It's freezing.
Freezing cold. There's snow on the mountains. In Cape Town, it's Cape Town and miserable. Our country's a little bit warmer. But hopefully a bit safer today as well. So thinking of everyone up north where things have been a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone's keeping safe, and hopefully everyone down here is keeping warm. And we're going to warm the bellies with a little pre and probiotic power bowl tonight. That's what we're cooking, and we'll get to that in a second. But swiping, let me know who's all here. Pat Govender, who's I think 90% of the time the first person to say howdy. How are you doing? Hopefully well. We are also in the midst of challenges and filming them. Gria's actually on my challenge. This is day 3 today.
Day 3.
How was it?
Just hard. Commandos, my goodness. But I did them. I was like, maybe I'll just do push-ups for the last 3 or something, but I did commandos the whole way.
She sees me struggling on screen.
Which is my motivation.
and it keeps it going. Hopefully everyone's challenge is off to a flying start. The first 3 days, so important to lay down the foundation, get things going, whatever challenge you're on, and dive in, make sure your accountability group is nice and active. You guys are sharing, learning from each other. That's epic. Hopefully we've got some one-on-oneers here. So swipe and let me know whose coach crew you are here representing. And hopefully just some Jeff Lifers and whoever else is around. And maybe a few people who've come our way across from Sipla, that we've been with them for the month. And this week has all been about gut health. We had an extremely interesting ed last night on probiotics with Professor Dix from Stellenbosch University. Did you hear it? Actually?
No, I didn't actually.
Let's catch it up. We'll show it again on Friday as well, just because I think it's so valuable. Learning a little bit about pre and probiotics, what they all are, how to use them, what they mean, how they can benefit us, and a whole bunch of things. Super interesting professor. And today we've kind of spun that off into the pre and probiotic bowl. And we're going to get some goodness into that, and I'll chat about that in a minute. And I've actually got a little dessert/breakfast. So when something can be dessert or breakfast, it's going to be good. And we're going to whip that up on the side a little bit later, and I'm going to chat to that. It's going to be super. So let me know who all is here. Harry, come. We had almost had a disaster with everything getting flung over there because kids don't listen. Amber Lee is here saying hello. Leslie, how are you? Kelly, loving the energy on our Winter Warmer Challenge from Kelly and her crew. Leanne as well. Pat, best of me is epic, lovely. So 3 days into that with Jono. Sharon swiping in for Because We Are Serious from Siri and Bex's challenge, which is beautiful. Pat agreed it was a great ed session last night on probiotics. Fantastic. Daniela, yes, a very chilly Cape Town. Also on the best of me with Jono and Jules. Durban signing in. First time cooking with your Master Chef apron. Beautiful. I love that. Hopefully you are wearing it with pride. Karen, how are you? Larissa is here as well. Lovely. Lots of familiar names and faces. And hopefully 1 or 2 new ones as well. So let us know if it's the first cook that you're doing with us. So we've got a few minutes. There was a little bit of prep that you guys could do. The beautiful thing about this bowl is you can do it in summer and keep everything nice and fresh. You can do it in winter and heat everything up. And that's obviously what we're going to be doing today. You can cook all your veg in advance if you want to. And you can just reheat it as you go here. Or if you want to keep it cool for lunch the next day, and if you're up country and in somewhere where it's maybe mid-20s to 30s, you can do it that way. But I also posted a pic on Instagram. Sometimes I said you've got to pick your battles. There's nothing wrong with occasionally putting your energy into something else, but not making a bad choice because there are options out there. And I picked up some pre-cooked brown rice. These little sachets are super useful. And we're just going to warm them up. And beetroot, because it takes so long to cook, you can get some cooked stuff. And there's nothing funny in this. It's just cooked for you. So it's not like it's a jar sauce and there's all sorts of ingredients and whatever. And cool, we maybe have a chat around that one. But it's just going to make your life a little bit easier. So if there's something that's prepped and cut and ready for you, that's cool. If it's frozen and you just need to reheat it, some frozen veg, use it. If something that's pre-cooked, save you some time in the kitchen, and it means you can still eat properly without putting a little bit of extra effort. When you've got energy to burn somewhere else, do it. And that's what we're doing tonight. And it's still going to kind of work the same. Some people haven't been able to get to shops, which is unfortunate, obviously, and still just making a plan. So if you're with us tonight and just tuning in, maybe you've just got any type of veg, any type of protein, any type of grain that's in your cupboard, in your fridge, in your pantry, whatever, you can essentially whip this together. The nice thing it's going to bring it together is a little dressing that we're going to do up front. All right, so loads of good stuff in here. If you haven't cooked anything, I haven't cooked the cauliflower yet. We're going to roast that off so the oven's going nice and hot at 200. And everything else is just going to get a quick steam to get some heat through. We're going to put it into a bowl, and we're going to make a little breakfast / pudding while that all happens. You can top it with any protein. We're having a little piece of steak tonight. Gria's going in the background. If you want chicken, if you want fish, if you want edamame beans, if you want some tofu, if you want whatever, anything like that is fine. All right, so you can see the ingredients for the dressing. They just come up and covered Gria there. She's going to disappear. So we're going to start with that and just whip it all together. And then we're going to start on, then we'll get started on the veg after that. All right. It is 6:29. So I've got a minute to say hello to whoever is checking in and I didn't see. Coach Lucy is here again. Love it when you're with us, Coach. Tan, good evening. The Chasers are here. Lovely.
Hello.
Stephen Mucky, nice of you to join us. Carolyn White, how are you? Beautiful. All right, so let's get started. Bang on time. We're going to keep to time. Guys, we're going to start with the dressing. Lovely, flavorful dressings. You're going to make a fair bit of this, and you can keep it in the fridge. Combining a couple things, and I'll talk through kind of the background of all the ingredients as we go. Essentially, it's some olive oil, it's some orange juice, some apple cider vinegar, some ginger, some garlic, and we're just going to blitz it all together. Very simple. All right. So you can get that little NutriBullet container. So we're going to stick some oil in there first. You can use a third of a cup to 100 mils, something like that. So olive oil is going to go in. Beautiful. And then we're going to do 60 mils, which is about a quarter cup of orange juice. If you've just got orange juice, like a carton of it, that's fine. Or if you've got an orange, you can squeeze it with the big guns that you get in your challenge. And then what was today's? Was it the shoulder one?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that. Not being able to do a hell of a lot with your shoulders because the cheetah absolutely smashed us. You'll be brushing your teeth like this tonight.
I'm more worried about tomorrow.
We had a good we're filming week 2 at the moment, and we had a good leg day today. I liked it.
You definitely seem in a better shape than last week.
It was a dark space last week. So for everyone else who is going through the winter slump, just get started. I just got started last week, and things are always better. The darkest hours are before the dawn. I can almost remember the name of the girl. No, she sang a song, but it was a poem. Thomas, I think, something like that.
Eliot.
Yeah. No. Anyway, that's enough of my poetry for the night. Do we quickly need to cook our cauli rice? Yes, so leave that right to the end when we're about to put the bowl together, because the cauli rice, hot pan, that's going to go in for literally 30 seconds, just get a little bit of heat through it. So you can grate it so long, and then we'll get that started. Right,
So nice.
Actually, yeah. Okay. While Greer's doing that, I'm just going to chop the cauliflower, because that needs to go into that. So there's 100 mils of olive oil. There is 60 mils of orange juice. You just want to peel a clove of garlic, and that can go.
You want to
and
say
then a thumb of ginger. That's all what's going into our. Hello, Izzy. Into our dressing. Hopefully you picked this up from Coach Tony the other day. You can see here. No. Peeling your ginger just with a teaspoon. So instead of losing half of your ginger by trying to cut it and get through all the little knobs and everything.
Hello.
Say hello. Hello. Gogo's most probably watching. Say hello, Gogo.
Hello, Gogo.
I don't think they got any supplies in Maritzburg, but they often tune in just to see their grandchildren. Not their children and children-in-laws. Okay. So the ginger. So it's about a thumb of ginger with a clove of garlic, pinch of salt, and we can Nutri-Bullet that. Super simple, with loads of flavor, and it's lekker. Yeah. So the cauliflower, if you haven't roasted it yet, just the smaller you cut it, the quicker it's going to roast. So I'm just going to make it bite size, because it'll roast. Go for it. Okay. Magic. All right. Tessa, you have missed the answer. What can we use if we didn't make sauerkraut on Monday? Winter warmer in the house. Beautiful. So the sauerkraut is the probiotic, fermented food that we are adding to this dish. If you didn't make it on Monday, go back, check. I did a Jeff Ed on it. If you weren't able to get some sauerkraut from the stores, just leave it off, because it's fun. So that would be the probiotic thing in this dish. So we can just call it a prebiotic power bowl for you. And you can have a little pudding that I'll show you, and you're going to get your prebiotics from that instead. Yeah. So you're just adding a little bit of olive oil to the cauliflower. Bit of salt. And that's going to go in the oven just to roast up. It'll cook quite quickly anyway, so at 180. Okay. J&J's Foxy 40s. Lovely. The Durban team. Beautiful. Lisa, how are you doing? Nikki's here. No more questions. Fantastic. All right, so all we've done, we've stuck the cauliflower in, so that's going to roast up, get a little bit of color on it. That's going to form a large part of our dish. If you're using a grain, you can cook that however you're going to, rice or quinoa or couscous or whatever you want. If you're using cauli rice, just grate it off and leave it aside, and you can cook that at the end, and we'll catch that in a second. That's not great.
That's not good.
So smell your dressing.
I feel like do some more ginger.
Have you tasted it?
No.
Tasted it.
It smells.
Looks great. It's nice and creamy. You see that? Where am I going? That one.
Look at the burns from the garlic or the ginger.
Okay, so that's going to be a beautiful little dressing at the end. All right, so just to touch base quickly on the prebiotic side of what's going on here. So prebiotics are a type of fiber, type of long-chain carbohydrates. If you were with us last night and learned from Prof. Dix, fructooligosaccharides are the primary form of prebiotics. It's just a whole bunch of little carbohydrates that make up the indigestible fiber. Where we get it, beetroot, cauliflower, lots of veg like that, onions, whichever one, garlic, nuts and seeds, all these things are nice and rich in fiber, and they're good fuel for the bacteria in your gut. So this bowl is combining all of those things. Even the brown rice that we're going to get going, all of that stuff is a good source of probiotic. All right. So all I'm going to do, my rice is pre-cooked. I'm just going to stick it in a steamer to warm up while we go. So a double layer steamer going behind us, and it's just going to help warm everything up. All right, my beetroot, it is pre-cooked, so in a couple minutes I'm going to stick it into the oven with the cauliflower just to warm up. All right, you could fry it off if you want to. However, you've got it pre-cooked, stick it on the microwave if you want to warm it up. Anything like that is fine. My seeds will go on at the end. I might just wilt the spinach just to heat it up slightly. If you want to slice our onion, and then we're going to also just right at the end, we're going to warm up some onion. So the boiler kettle, pour a little bit of hot water over it, or stick it in the water that the steamer's kind of got going, or whatever.
Slices or cubes?
Slices.
Can I do half slices?
Yeah. Whoa, getting fancy.
No, it's just
Nice.
easier to cut.
All right, so we're just going to slice our onion, and that'll go. So, quick reminder of everything that's going into our bowl. A cooked grain of any kind, brown rice, quinoa, whatever. If you want to keep it low carb, you can do grated cauliflower instead, or you don't even have to grate it. You can just make a nice big bowl of veg. We've got some beetroot, we've got the cauliflower, either way, some baby spinach, some red onion. We're going to top it right at the end with some sauerkraut or some kimchi or something. I've got both bubbling behind us from Monday's meal prep session. And then some pumpkin seeds will go on at the end as well. All right. So that's everything that's going to get prepped. All right. Did you put this in the dressing?
No.
Sorry, we have just seen we didn't put our apple cider vinegar into our dressing, which is fine because it doesn't need a drizz. So it's just going to be a tablespoon of that. It'll just help me cut through it. So much going on here. All right, so that dressing, as a reminder, 100 mils of olive oil, 60 mils of orange juice, about a thumb of ginger, a clove of garlic, and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a pinch of salt, and that's the dressing we're going to drizzle over, and anything left up, you just keep it in the fridge. All right.
Get this off.
That's enough, I reckon. Just do that.
Be sure.
Yeah. All right. So while the collie is cooking away, the rice is just warming up. Any other veg that you've got is just cooking or heating or whatever. What we're going to do, I'm going to run you through a little pudding that you could do, or a breakfast that will help for sort of making sure you start the day off well tomorrow. So we've got a beautiful an overnight chia pot, or doesn't be overnight if you want to have it for dessert, that we're going to get a probiotic into. So Entiro have this cool little product which is called Fast Melt. So it's a little sachet of probiotics. So it just dissolves and stuff, which is cool. And similar to the other things, good strain Lactobacillus plantarum, which you would have heard about last night as well. So a nice way to get it in. Our yogurt is also another source of probiotic in here. So it's a really nice sort of dreamy way to support gut health. And you can have it as dessert tonight if there's space for that. Or stick it in the fridge. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be ready for breakfast, essentially. And you can even warm it up again tomorrow if you want to as well, and it becomes a nice little warm option. Although, as I say that, warming a probiotic is going to kill it. So don't do that, actually. All right. So nice and simple. You can see the ingredients there. What we're going to start off with is a blueberry jam. So we've got a cup of blueberries, and that's just going to go onto some heat. And we're going to make our own jam with it by cooking that down and adding a tablespoon of chia seeds, and it's jam. Done. We're going to zest a bit of lemon in there, and you'll be able to use that as a topping for your yogurt. It's going to go in here, but you can keep it and use it. But it's a nice sort of added sugar, beautiful thing. So frozen blueberries or fresh, whatever, a cup of those. Just in that pot in the corner there, and we're going to bubble those away and let them sort of mush down a bit. Add a tablespoon of chia seeds, zest of half a lemon, and that's a jam. It's done. You can stick that in the fridge as well. Right, magic. So that's all that's happening there. And then to make the base of your chia pudding, which you can play around, you want a different fruits, that's cool. You want to flavor it, go ahead, that's fine. But the ratios are kind of similar here. So 2 tablespoons of some chia seeds. Put that here in front of you guys. The cool thing about chia is it kind of forms its own little gel. So that's why it works in the jam here. But when you add a lot of liquid to it and let it, it like swells all up and puffs up and gives you kind of nice consistency. What do you have?
To add the chia seeds.
No, once that's cooked down, you'll add them. Right, so we've got 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. We've got half a cup of milk. Okay. And half a cup of yogurt. A natural source of probiotic, which is great. And that's that. And then these little sachets, they dissolve nicely in there. These are also flavored as well, actually a berry flavor, which is cool. So we're making berries and it's flavoring it with extra berries. So the puff of smoke as the sachet opens, and you'll see just a very fine kind of white powder. And that's in there. With a teaspoon of honey. How's that going? Is it squishing down already?
Yeah, that's it.
Just a teaspoon of honey. And we mix it up. So it'll be quite liquidy like that. Quite a thin consistency. And just as you leave that, it's going to thicken and set from the chia seeds. Super. Then, once our jam is done, once this is set, you can either put a little bit of jam into it and really ramp up the flavor, or just top it with some of that jam and then a few more berries. Okay, so beautiful. That's the base, and on top of that will go your jam and berries. And while you've got some downtime, while everything else is cooking, you are prepping your breakfast or a snack for tomorrow. It's already actually starting to thicken. You can see how, maybe you can see. I'm just going to stick it in that bowl. And that will go into the fridge. So easy. And the jam is step 1. We just sort of mushing down the blueberries, which is a cup of blueberries. And with that is going to get another tablespoon of chia seeds and then a zest of half lemon. Coach Kate, I'm ignoring you. So where is the question here? What am I ignoring you about? How am I feeling? I'm feeling strong, Coach. I'm feeling good. We had a good session today. The legs are good. The bum's a little bit stronger than it was last week with our curtsy lunges. So one thing we know is that your sessions are fantastic because I'm feeling better at them. It's looking good. It sure is. Denise, got your kids the fast melt after last night's session on gut health. Brilliant. Get it in young. Lisa, all looks very yummy. Kate wants to know how you're feeling. She's on. You might have missed the intro here, day 3, which was one of the toughies. I thought day 1 was a toughie last week. Ria reckons day 3 today was a good push.
It was. My arms as commandos. My goodness.
Coach Kate loves a commando.
Kate, when at one point 80 put the weights down and you picked up heavier weight.
I'm not even embarrassed to say that Coach Kate is in a hell of a lot better shape than I am. Deirdre says, Lordy, my shoulders are broken. I know, yeah. Exactly. It was one of these. Right, so we just... almost. Okay, so I just want to check on our cauliflower. All fine? Yeah. Beautiful. And when that comes out, I'm going to pop in the beetroot just for 5 minutes. And whatever protein you want to cook with this, think about that. So I said I've got a steak. I'm just going to slice it nice and thinly, and that's going to go over the top. You can use chicken. You can use tofu. You can use edamame beans. You can use anything. Anything that you want. You've got some tinned tuna. You can use that. Stick that in there. That's cool. Anything like that would be fine. Yes, Deirdre, today it was hard. All right. So we are flying through this. Our rice is just heating up. Just cool. I'm going to, just for the last few minutes of the collies in there, I'm going to pop our pre-cooked beetroot in. Looking good. Smelling good. Good. Ready? Okay. So my veg, I just want warm. Essentially, that's it. I don't want to overcook it. I just want a nice warm kind of bowl that's going to bring everything together at the end. All right. Then we might as well. Okay, let me show you. So that's literally just a cup of blueberries that Greer's cooked down beautifully, nice and still, sort of chunky, like that. And it's going to come off the heat and get another tablespoon of chia seeds, and that's going to gel it together and form a little jam. And zest of a lemon, maybe just the smallest squeeze of some juice. One spoon of that. And then we're going to zest some lemon. Okay. Going to give a nice layer of flavor. Be super. So it'll still be quite tart. The natural sweetness of the berries is there, but it's nice to have a little something that's tart as well. Okay, zest the lemon, and let's just use this. Okay, and that's it. That's our jam. So about a teaspoon of that. Looks good. Yeah. There we go. You can see. Pull your spoon down and you can see the thickness of it. How's that? You don't have to slave away for hours making some jam. You've just done it beautifully. Got some fiber in there, some flavor, some healthy fats from the chia seeds as well. A little bit of protein. Beautiful. So that's going to top our chia pudding.
Where's the protein?
The chia seeds with a little bit of protein. Okay. Magic. Now, we're just going to cook off our protein and then get ready to serve. So, like I said, we had a lovely piece of steak.
It's getting colder.
you're doing some chicken or you're doing some fish or whatever it is, it's fine. Just get that on. It's a little bit of salt on there, a little bit of oil. And we're going to cook that quickly. So the last 5 minutes here, that's done, and then everything's going to come together, and we're just going to plate it up, warm up our last few odds and ends of veg, and that's it. Michelle Rogers is here.
Hello, Michelle.
Beautiful. Everyone on track. So, quick recap while the pan gets nice and hot to cook our piece of steak. We started with the dressing, which was the olive oil, orange juice, ginger, garlic, pinch of salt, blended together, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, which keeps getting forgotten about. And that's our lovely dressing, which is just sitting aside here. We've got enough to last a couple of days. And then the bowl of goodness is a grain if you want to use it. So brown rice, quinoa, couscous, any of that. You can keep it low carb. And just do the rest of the veg. Perfect. From the veg, we've got some beetroot, got some cauliflower, we've got some red onion, we've got some baby spinach. So it's just cooking the beetroot and cauliflower at the moment. I'm just going to heat through the spinach and the onion right at the end, just so everything's nice and warm on the plate, and then get it all together. Loads of fiber, loads of Probiotic, so the fuel for your gut bacteria in here, which is great. So really good kind of dish, and then it just ties together that beautiful dressing and whatever protein you want to pop on top of that. Sharon, dessert is the lovely, dreamy blueberry chia overnight pot. Doesn't have to be overnight. It should thicken up by the time we've actually finished dinner unit. So it'll be a little bit more runny today, and tomorrow it'll be nice and set. But that was literally, you can see the ingredients there. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, half a cup of yogurt, half a cup of milk, mixed together with a sachet of Entiro fast melt. And that had a teaspoon of honey with it. Then we've just finished making our jam, which was a cup of blueberries, just cooked down, and we added a tablespoon of chia seeds and zest of some lemon. Nice and easy. Coach Lee hating those commandos, aren't we all?
Oh my goodness.
I think everyone's hating them. All right, so our pan hot, and our steak is going to go on. All right. First time joining, looks fascinating, even though a veggie muncher. Yeah, our steak's gone in. So this would be a perfect thing, a vegetarian dish as well. So you can use all the base of the bowl that we've got. And then all you need to top it with is maybe some steamed edamame would be great. Some tofu, if you include tofu in your diet, you could use that. You could use some quinoa as your protein instead, nice higher protein grain. Any of those are options. You can go absolutely anywhere with this, which is magic. The Entiro, these little things. Funny story, I was at Clicks. You get these at Clicks. And they were in the aisle. There were 3 people in the aisle, me being one of them, and everyone was picking up a box of this. So I got the very last one of them. They seem to be flying off the shelf. There's probably a whole bunch of Jeffers out there that have gone to stock up, but Clicks has Entiro fast melt. That's what the box looks like. So they're just little sachets, red berry flavor, which matches our pudding beautifully. So we've just got our steak going. Just cook it to your liking. Just want to check on the right. Here's a step ahead of me. You look all right? What?
Mushy.
Okay. This one is steamed spinach just now. Whoa! There we go. That's a lovely mix of brown rice and quinoa. So some fiber, some beauty, a little bit of flavor. Just going to season it slightly. And then while Bear does that, we'll get a bowl to eventually get ready to plate. lovely and pink. And we're just going to build it up from that. So, looks fine?
Yep.
Right, so just check on the veg that you're warming up or cooking or whatever you're doing, your protein that's going.
I don't know how to do this. Walking through it.
Just leave it. Pretty much like we did the fish last week. So just cook a steak to your liking. You're going to give it another minute, and then it's been on 3. You can put it.
I can cook it.
Looks good. Okay, just a little bit of steak going in the background, and everything's just going to come together. Used some tuna. You made yours a little bit earlier, and it was super beautiful. We're able to find some fresh tuna, or I don't have a name on that comment, so it just says Facebook user. But tuna would be beautiful, yeah. Anything like that would be fantastic. All right. So steak will just cook for a minute or two. Suppose we could have started it and get the veg out. Lovely. So we've got nice steamy cooked veg. And I'm literally, the steamer that was going, I'm just going to wilt this baby spinach down slightly just so it's warm. And I also just want to get these red onions warm. So I'm going to pop them under some boiling water. Nice way to eat fresh onions. You just give them a couple minutes in some boiled water, and it just takes a little edge off. So it's okay. So that just went into the steamer pot water, ready to go. Fresh tuna, ate it like sashimi, beautiful. Fresh bluefin. Lovely, and it's been running beautifully here. So they've been catching plenty. Ran out of cauliflower, can use broccoli, and how much? Totally, Larissa. So another good source of prebiotics, broccoli as well. Use as much as you kind of want to. So all of your non-starchy veg, use that to bulk up your plate. At least 1 cup. There are a couple other veggies going on here. But if you want a little bit more, remember the portions that we want to stick to are getting our protein portions right. Any starch that's on there and the fats, make sure that they kind of match your goals. But your extra veg, you can always bulk up more if you want to. A little bit more, the better. Okay. So, our steak is going to be nice and pink. Can you do that? Just stick it there and you can rest it. Okay. And that's that. So we're going to start building everything. Yeah. All right. So we're going to start with, our grains. Now, if you're not using a grain and you're doing cauli rice, just quickly fry that in the hot pan. Literally 30 seconds is kind of all you want. As hot a pan as possible so that it doesn't kind of boil. You get a little bit of color onto it. It'll be beautiful. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to grab a couple of those onions. Okay, so that baby spinach, I haven't cooked it, I've just wilted it so that it's warm, but still gives us some nice bulk on the plate. Okay. That. Got our lovely other veg. So that green and purple from the beetroot is just going to work beautifully there. don't need a lot of it. Okay. We're just layering it all up. So we've got a lovely bowl of goodness. Got our collie on there with it.
These guys.
A few slivers of onion. Gonna go just anywhere's fine. There. Okay, and this is what we did on Monday. That's the one jar that is the sauerkraut. Go check it out if you didn't see it. Quick and easy to make. And then that's our kimchi. So you can see the bubbles. It's just been on the counter for the last little while. I'm going to use the kimchi for a little bit of spice. And that's the probiotic sauce here on the dish. Okay, so a good spoon of that. Okay, so that's normally ready at about day 3. So we like day 2.5, so it's not going to be perfect, but you can keep checking on it. And then when it gets to a point that you like it, you just put it in the fridge and the fermentation stops. And then it's ready to go. All right. Then our steak, we're just slicing nice and fine.
How's it cook?
Perfect. So whatever protein you're doing, it could be your chicken or your edamame or anything like that. Okay. Just going to put that on there. Whatever seeds you've got, so we've got some lovely sunflower seeds, a little bit of texture, more fiber, more prebiotics. That's just going on there. And then, Kate, need to work on my twisting there. That's a little bit weak. And we're just going to drizzle over that beautiful orange dressing. And that is our lovely pre and probiotic power bowl. So you can see lovely grain, nice colors. We've got all sorts of goodness on there. It's going to be super. I'm actually quite happy with that. Lovely, guys. How was that? So a little bit over time, 35 minutes, but because we did 2 things. We did that and the pudding, which is going to get finished with, I'll post the pic once it's set. Quick reminder, you can see that jam that we've got there, how solid that is. Just need a little scoop of that. Can you taste it? Lovely. That's going to go on top of our chia and yogurt and Entiro fast melt little design that we've got. It's just sitting in the fridge and it's going to set. Let's see what it kind of looks like after 10 minutes. You can already see there's a wobble. There's like a jelly custardy wobble. So it'll be fine. I mean, you can eat it right now and put everything on and everything will hold up there. But most probably actually by the time we've finished eating that, if you want a dessert, that's it. Otherwise, keep it for breakfast tomorrow. Lovely. Start the day off on the right note. Nice and easy, loads of flavor in here, loads of good nutrition, looking after your gut, supporting your immune system through winter. That's what it's about. You can do it from food, you can support it from supplements. So like you've seen with the different things we've done on gut health and working with Entiro and sort of ideas in that space, make sure you're putting in the hard yards with your nutrition because it's going to make the difference in terms of keeping you fit, healthy, strong, recovering, so you can train a little bit harder the next day. Guys, as always, it's been fantastic cooking with you all. Please post your pics. Love to see what they look like. Guys are going to give it a try here. Coach Lee says it looks so good. I'm going to try it again. Lovely. So a few of you were just tuning in for the entertainment and you might catch up a little bit later. So maybe one for the weekend or when you're able to get all the ingredients together. My head chef has done a superb job. even on the steak, which she said she didn't know how to cook, she cooked perfectly. And now we do the important part, which is eating.
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much. Thanks, love.
Thank you.
Looks
I'm
great.
excited.
So am I. I'm somewhat hungry after training today, and so I'm going to dig into this. You've got a rest day tomorrow. I don't. I've got to keep filming. So another day in the sweat box with the cheetah. Guys, fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's dig into this.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you all next week. Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.